me my crisps. That's what I'd say if I had a butler and also wanted chips at the moment, and at the same time used fancy British words instead of American ones. Welcome to Very Real Talk, everybody, for another week. I'm Nick Potter, your host. I got some boys with me. It's the norm. It's not the norm. Why am I saying that?
No, man, yeah.
I said it's the norm, and then I looked to my right, and I realized that person wasn't the person that is usually there.
But I'm not normal.
You're not.
Oh, man, you dropped the shovel.
So,
are y'all gonna kill me?
Poor choice, damn it.
Why is this happening already? Guys, this is a show where we talk real, and really, today, our friend Colin texted us and said, guys,
I'm a bitch.
I just can't carry on today. The world has brought me down. This sickness that is in me is too great. I must rest. I cannot talk real with you guys. The sickness would make me lie.
I see. So he's
down
sick
with the
is what you're trying
sickness.
to say.
Down with the sickness is what I'm trying to say, actually. So we have a little bit of a change up in the roster today. I'm going to get to our guest in a second. First, I got to introduce my brother. That's Joey Potter. Hey, Joey, what's up?
Yep.
That is what's up.
Yeah?
Question for you, Joey.
All right.
When you were up there in Pennsylvania at your film school,
Yeah, my sad house.
your sad house, what amongst your peers, what was like everyone touting as the best movie of all time? Were they a bunch of Pulp Fiction wannabes?
Definitely not. I had such an eclectic group of people there. Like, I was the young one at 19. At one point, we had like a 55-year-old woman.
Whoa.
But yeah, it went from like 19 to like 35 with like 20 kids, adults.
And you walked in there at 19, and you were like, my favorite film was Ace Ventura: When Nature Calls, and they all slapped you at once.
No, yeah. I don't know. I know my director touted Die Hard as the best script of all time.
Interesting.
Okay.
We watched Die Hard probably 6 times. Like, not even on the curriculum. He's just like, we're watching Die Hard again. It's just like, this is film history. Like, we aren't
I've
there
got
yet.
a machine gun.
Yeah, you're starting way.
All right, we're
in the
hitting the Die Hard button today. And he has this
Movies didn't start until Die Hard came out.
1988.
Everything before that was just trash.
Oh, you're talking about films that came before Die Hard?
In the first 80 years of film history.
Well, it was just a wild, wild west out there, man.
Yeah,
People just
everything
wandering
is
around.
pre and post DH.
But yeah. Yeah, I can't really pull it off the top of my head because, yeah, there was enough of us, and that was 2010, 2011 when I was there. So it's just like, what was hot then that people would tout, but I don't know.
Just The Social Network.
Mine is and forever will be Black Dynamite.
Absolutely, yes. I just wanted to know if there was like a hive mind where everyone was like, we're in film school, and we all know the most technical, greatest film is Ace Ventura: When Nature Calls.
Birth of a
lot,
Nation.
A lot of people sucked Citizen Kane's dick. With medium reason.
Sure.
Yeah, I don't know.
Okay.
Tron Legacy. I just know that was the first time I watched it. Was at the theater. Somebody bought it on Blu-ray. It was hyped. he was a visual effects guy.
Oh, okay.
So
he was really mad about
My
Jeff
God.
Bridges' face.
He was
Die
super
Hard's been topped.
Psyched about Goo Bridges.
Goo Bridges. All right. The next boy I'm introducing, his name is Corey Music.
What's up?
Corey, question for you.
Sure.
What's your favorite play of all time?
My favorite play of all time.
Yeah. We went to play school
We did go to play school.
where they showed us a bunch of plays and said, do you like this or do you hate this?
Yay or nay?
Yeah.
Do you
It's
want
like
to
a
graduate or
Rorschach
not?
test.
Yeah. Whether or not, you can be in play school, you have to answer these questions right.
I saw King Lear. I mean, you saw Who's Afraid of Virginia Woolf. You know,
They're like, you said yay on way too many Sondheims. Get out of here. We don't want you.
So on that note, my favorite play is probably not. Well,
Hell's Awesome.
yeah, Hell's Awesome 2. We'll get into it later. I guess if I think about plays that have the most impact, I'm kind of a Tom Stoppard guy. Rosencrantz and Guildenstern are Dead is one of my favorites.
Okay.
That's what I associate with you.
Eyes.
They're glazing
That's a good Joey. That's a good play. Shut the fuck up.
That is a good
I
play.
don't
Yeah.
know
It's
anything
based on
about theater.
Hamlet. Have you heard of
Another
Hamlet?
good play.
I've heard of Hamlet.
Okay, cool.
Have you heard of Omelet?
Omelet.
I saw that.
Omelet
Yeah.
was great too. So I like that one. Jesus Christ Superstar. If you count that as a play, it's more of a musical, but that's one
Sure.
of the best ones.
I would. Yeah. Floor's open for all of them. It's all kind of the same thing.
Spider-Man,
Staged
Turn Off the
production.
Dark.
Yeah.
I couldn't see it because I didn't go to New York to see it. Not
Yeah.
a dark pun though.
I have to
Right.
say stomp.
Just have to put that in there.
No one's mentioned Stomp yet, and I'm kind of offended.
I need to get it in there, please. Nick got to shove an Ace Ventura 2 twice, so I get to say stomp.
Yeah.
That voice you guys are hearing is a guest. He's a returning guest. It's TCBallin himself, Colby Blue.
Oh, hey, y'all.
Joey forgot about that.
It's one of the best stories. I'm glad you got to tell it.
Colby, question for you. What was the first play that you ever saw? Do you remember? Professional. We can do professional if you want.
The first professional play that I ever saw was The Phantom of the Opera.
Oh, okay.
Pretty sure.
With Gerard Butler,
Jerry Butler was in that stage production.
the original
Also
one.
saw-
Do you remember like the first play you saw, period? I think that's more of an interesting question, maybe like a middle school production or something.
A Phantom of the Opera.
And Gerard Butler still was in it.
He's way taller than everyone else.
So, I mean, are we including pageants and things like that? Because
No.
it might be like a first grade. Man, I think I might have been in a play before I saw a play.
Okay.
Honest to God. I
was
did.
that?
That was the Tortoise and the Hare, the Great Cross Country Race. I did it in like third grade.
Who won?
Funny enough. And I still remember
Shrek.
my first line, which was, "Oh, please, you'll be saying the stubby bit as a tail next."
Ooh,
First line.
Okay.
But yeah,
You
I
sound
think
like you were playing a curmudgeon of some sort.
I was a rat. I was a river rat. So, that kind of.
Yeah. Okay. Whoa.
But yeah, I think and then I started watching plays after I was in one.
Sure.
So,
And you're like, I want to see what this looks like from the other side. That
yes. And it's not as interesting. It's like,
Princess Jasmine going out to the from the kingdom.
Yeah.
These
It's like, ooh,
normies.
it's dirty and poor out here. Why did I want to see this?
I was trying to cut my hand off.
The grass is greener, definitely on my side. I'm gonna get back over there.
Pardon me, peasant. I must continue my acting.
I'm not coming to you guys' fucking plays anymore.
Oh, damn.
I'm sorry, man.
Yeah. I'm sorry for you, Joey, because you'll miss out. Guys, this week we're talking film and theater experiences that we've all had. We're all pretty adept at these things. We have a lot of experience in each of them. I mean, Joey, less play oriented, more film. But the other three boys, we've done a lot of stuff together. So I thought we would just talk about some of our favorite moments that we've had, things we liked, things we didn't like, least favorite moments where you messed up and didn't hit that line right, you didn't hit that cue,
Didn't show up at all.
didn't show up, and the play was ruined because you were out seeing Ace Ventura when nature calls.
Where were you seeing that in college?
And a VHS in my living room.
Out, quote unquote.
So, yeah, we've all done a lot of things. So I thought we would just talk about some of our favorites. Like, just, not to kick it off, but to give examples, like, obviously Joey went to film school. Me and Corey have written several plays together. We've written plays with Colby. We've all been in each other's plays. Colby's written some as well. The three of us, Corey, Colby, and I, were part of Bottoms Up Productions.
Yeah.
Which was, we had our own little YouTube channel. We did shows under that banner. So, yeah, we've had a lot of experience, I'd say. Most of it, obviously, being amateur.
Mm-hmm. Not Phantom of the Opera level.
Yeah. Not Tortoise and the Hare Race Across America level.
No, sorry, Bob.
I can never match that line. Just that one line you gave, I was like, well, that's outside my league. So
Yeah. He wouldn't even go in for an audition.
I've never topped it since.
I can confirm that.
Man, my first ever theater experience was in preschool, actually. We did some sort of, like, Christmas time play, and I got to play Santa Claus.
Wow.
Yes.
Some may argue he's the main
Your
character
boy
of
got
Christmas.
chucked down a cardboard chimney.
Yeah, hell yeah. That was fun. I got to drop down a chimney and like drop off presents for the boys and girls. I remember it being like this huge drop, but a teacher really just like plopped me down like a cardboard box that was shaped like a chimney. And I got to come out, and I remember my first gaff. I came out and I had to put stuff in the stockings, but I knocked everything off of the shelf of the chimney.
And everyone laughed.
Everyone laughed at me.
Wow.
I peed my pants, screamed, "Help me, mommy," and then I didn't act again until college. No, that's not true. I just knocked everything down and didn't know what to do.
I was 1 years old, and I was laughing and cackling.
Joey laughed, told me I shouldn't act anymore. Screamed, even though it wasn't true. He peed his pants, and everyone started laughing. It was terrible.
Man,
I
was
brought
boy
a
from the
sack of
beginning.
tomatoes.
Someone's like, "There's a baby handing out tomatoes."
A very well-spoken baby.
Samuel L. Jackson was in the audience. Boo this man!
Oh my god!
Boo!
No.
That's why you love him so much. You're trying to undo that terrible memory.
Undo that terrible memory.
Were you the
Disappointed
Santa
the
Claus that
master.
ruined everything? That ruined Christmas?
Oh, it's Tim Allen.
I can tell you about my only theater experience.
Oh yeah, tell us.
That was
Joey.
in fourth grade.
Yes.
Oh.
And we did a play about Kentucky and Kentucky history because that's where I went to school. And,
Kentucky school.
And I got cast as George Rogers Clark
Oh hell yeah!
and the motherfucking Colonel.
Yeah, I remember Joey got to be the Colonel.
Yeah, like I did like I had my like 2 lines or whatever as George Rogers Clark because like who the fuck is that? And then I like went backstage, had to do like a quick like scene change almost, where I, like
That quick
sprayed my
costume
hair
change.
white
Yeah.
and like glued a mustache to my face, and I went out there, and the mustache kept falling off.
Oh.
It was
Right into your bucket.
I would talk, and then it would fall off, and I'd pick it up, and it was giggly, and I did it like 3 or 4 more times, and I hated every second of it.
Yeah. And I was in the audience like, "Pissed your pants, Colonel Sanders."
Do you want to buy this tomato?
No, I remember handling it pretty well because it's just like I was 9, and it was just like a goof. Like I was already
Right.
like an old man, like
Yeah.
like cheap old man makeup. And yeah, it was fine, but yeah, I think that's the only time I've been on stage.
Did you eat a lot of chicken around that time to get into character?
Yeah, method acting.
Mommy, we need to go to KFC again so I can do research.
the buckets.
Mom, more mashed potatoes, mommy, please.
Put it in a bowl.
That's great, though. I'm glad you cared that much about the role. See, you could do it,
Yeah.
man.
Yeah.
Bring
No.
it back. He's
Bring
dead
it
now,
back.
right? We can bring it back in Hell's Awesome as Colonel Sanders.
Yeah, we'll cast you,
We
dog,
could.
right
Yeah.
now.
What the most inside of jokes?
It's a niche of a niche of a niche.
Yeah.
I'm not even sure my mom will get it.
I'm not sure you get it.
But the listeners of this podcast will get it.
Yep. And also, come see our shows.
Yeah, that's a niche again.
Yeah, that Venn diagram's pretty small,
It's
I
like
imagine.
9 Venn diagrams on top of each other.
Yeah. Guys, do you remember? You're all like Corey. Do you remember yours?
I was just my first experience was because there's a Christmas theme with you anyway. I was in a Christmas Carol. I remember my first line of all time. I think was a bear because we were doing like a what's the game charades, and I was this guy, and I was like my guess was a bear, and that was my big splash on the scene.
Yeah.
Was that your acting credit? This guy.
The guy who says bear.
And Samuel L. Jackson was the audience. He was like,
That kid's going places. I remember, though, because I knew nothing about the etiquette of theater that we all know very well now.
Sure.
Opening night, I did something where I was talking to someone in the audience, and I just walked on the stage, backstage, thinking it wasn't a big deal. See your face right now. We all know that's a big
Yeah.
faux pas.
Yeah.
I don't really... In reality, like, who fucking gives... Who? I mean, wait, that's not a real place. It's a stage. Like, but yes, that wasn't... The stage manager, like, accosted me.
as
And,
they do,
threw
as
tomatoes
as
at
they
you.
should
Yes.
have.
And Samuel L. Jackson also was like, what are you doing, man?
He's like, I saw potential. I saw greatness in you.
And then he handed you a Capital One credit card.
Yeah. He's like, I already maxed it out in your name, idiot.
See you later, loser.
I bought 10,000 copies of Ace Ventura When Nature Calls.
In case I want to watch it more than once. So that was my first experience, A Christmas Carol, when I was 16. And then I did other cool stuff.
Oh, okay. You started it later, late bloomer.
Yeah, I was a late bloomer.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, yeah, I thought we'd get that out of the way, start at the beginning chronologically, because, I mean, really, after that, I have no credits until college.
I did various things like musicals, like I was in Peter Pan and Jesus Christ Superstar, Beauty and the Beast, where I played the Beast double in Beauty and the Beast. It was really great. So
Was
I got
it the stunt double?
Well, so there's a part in the play where the real Beast guy is backstage getting all prettied up. And while that's happening, I'm like at the top of the stairs, like I'm all silhouette, and I'm just wearing like generic Beast stuff.
Right.
And Gaston eventually is like, I'm going to murder the Beast. And
I'm going to throw tomatoes at that silhouetted beast.
Perhaps he'll fall. It'll be annoying. And he comes up, and the guy has a microphone backstage, and he'll just say the lines, and I just did some generic gestures like, get out of here. You know, I would just match what he's doing.
Right.
We fight. We fall off. That's how Gaston dies, and then right when I fall off, the real prince would then come back up with the big thing on his face, and he's pretty now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, I
Were you
thought
also
like
a
he
spoon?
made out with
Yes,
Gaston.
I was a spoon in the Be Our Guest scene. Yes.
Okay.
We're friends. I know things.
Oh, see, guys. In case you guys weren't wondering, he knew I was a spoon, and now you all know I was a spoon too.
Now we're friends. We weren't friends until this moment.
Spoon test. There is no spoon. There is no friendship.
Should have been a fucking fork.
Yeah, but yeah, then college was kind of, I guess that's when all of us came together. Speaking of things coming together, you know, guys, I keep hearing about all these great stories about Joey and going to film school in Pennsylvania. It's interesting to me because whenever I think of that story, I think about how I was almost in that story and then I wasn't.
Yeah, you fucking failed me.
Yeah.
So, for Joey's film project, he had a film that we all were going to go up to Pennsylvania for, and something happened with me. I guess I was just an asshole. Or maybe I had a reason. I don't know. But I couldn't make it, so...
Yeah, I want to say that you had a reason, and you weren't an asshole that was like, no, I'm not doing that. But yeah, Joey, would you explain this a little bit better for everybody at home?
I mean, so in my film program, it was kind of a like trade school-y accelerated program. So I was there for like 18 months or something, and like there was like no summer break or anything. It was just like straight through. So, you know, we had our classes and we had little projects that we did like throughout, but our final for the program was to make a short film.
Right.
Or be a key player in somebody's short film.
Right.
So it's just like if you didn't write something, you know, or direct something, like be the DP, be the AD, that kind of thing. So I was super depressed in college. So I wrote a short called The Fuck It List, which the premise was 4 guys make a suicide pact and put it to like a point system. Me talking about this now, I'm like, man, that sucks. Yeah. Like, it was just something, you know, whatever. And so I needed 4 guys. And I was like, all right, Nick.
Obviously.
Main character, boom.
Duh.
Then I was like,
Nepotism,
I was like,
baby.
who next? Colin, done. Let's scratch that off.
Yeah.
Who's really good at who's good at being like the kind of like sad straight man? Corey, boom, nailed it. And then I was like, I kind of need, this is like a smaller role. I was like, boom, Colby, bam, got it, nailed it.
Yeah, absolutely.
I've seen all of them.
Yeah.
And I wrote Corey's part for Corey. I was like, I think he's got this from what I had seen at that point. I was like,
sure,
he's got this. He's the more Nick's kind of, you know, Nick, you sometimes do the straight man thing, but you're you know, louder and stuff. And Corey, you're a lot more like introspective in your kind of things. And I was just like, got it, fucking got it.
Nailing it. Just
set up
fucking gold.
Yeah, like set up all the shit. I'm pretty sure I wrote my first draft on Adderall because it was college, but and I'm pretty sure that we went to shoot with that script mostly. I remember I finished the last scene. I was writing in a Qdoba, and I was like almost tearing up, and I was like, "Oh, this is so fucking good."
Yeah, I do remember you sent it to me, and I made a couple of small changes. To the script, but I mean, it was once again, it was mostly you. So yeah, Joey asks us all because it was It was winter. We went up on winter break because it was cold. And Corey couldn't go for one reason or another, whether it was because he was busy or because he was too good for it. I don't know.
We'll
I honestly
never know.
I honestly don't remember. I like to assume that he was just busy because at the very least his friends were going up, so that sounds like fun.
Yeah.
So yeah, we all get there and we're reading it and we're like, oh, we all have to kill ourselves in this one. Okay.
Challenge.
Yeah, because the basic premise is like we make the suicide pact, and then if a certain like we give everything a point system, like a bird poops on you or something, and if you get enough points, you have to kill yourself.
Yeah, it's like the fuck my life moments.
Right.
And I wrote down like point values basically.
Like, I remember my last line was, fuck ass cancer.
Yeah, it was.
Like, I'm saying, fuck this thing, and that thing is ass cancer.
Yeah.
So I'm assuming that I caught the ass cancer.
Yeah.
And,
Oh man.
Well, yeah, it was cool because it was the first time we ever worked on like a real green screen. Mm-hmm. We had to
Yeah.
do driving scenes. Like me and and the thing was, because Corey couldn't do it, Joey had to ask one of the other bros that was hanging around to be this character who was the second biggest character behind me.
Yeah.
I mean, that's usually. I mean, come on.
Right, that's how it works.
Yeah.
But this kid was like no good at acting.
he weren't.
Yeah.
You weren't.
he overacted.
Yeah.
Which is the problem.
What?
Like
What?
It's like
You
he could have
remember
been
that
halfway.
too.
Yeah.
He could have been halfway decent on stage, maybe.
Yeah,
But,
because like there was one scene in particular that just like drives me up the wall, and all I needed was Nick like hits him and points at something, and I just needed him to say what,
Yeah.
not what. Period. No question mark.
Yeah.
Period. 17 takes.
Just standing. We were in a real restaurant.
My AD had to come be like, Joey, I just need to let you know we're on take like 12 of Brandon saying what. And I was just like, I know, but he's not fucking saying it right.
Yeah. I was just sitting there like, okay, man, I'm going to say it, and then you just say it exactly how I say it.
Okay, let's do it. Let's try it.
What?
What?
Yeah, 'cause that was like the overacting thing where he'd be like, what? Like, no, man, no. Like,
Get Tim Allen out of here.
because I think my writing, I'm pretty decent at normal conversation between friends.
Sure.
Like, I think that's what I excel at. I can kind of like put myself there and think of how a normal fucking conversation sounds. So with something like that, it's just like you hit your buddy, you're like, look, and they're like, what?
Right.
That's it. That's
Yeah.
so fucking simple.
Yeah.
But he couldn't do it. But otherwise, we had a pretty good shoot.
It was cool,
Man,
man. We got
fucking
to
railed
shoot at
through
a
that
lot
shit.
of different locations.
Yeah.
We were at a little convenience store. We were, like I said, on the green screen lot. Colby had to go to doctor's office.
Did I film that?
Ass cancer, Dr. Oz?
I don't
Well,
think
I
I was
remember
there.
I don't remember a doctor's office, but I do remember Colin looking at my asshole.
Oh.
And on each
Okay, those are different.
on each successive take, and I did this on purpose, I would open up my ass a little bit more.
So, guys, the first scene we shot, Colby and Joey.
And Colin noticed.
Right. Joey was a little bit depressed, obviously, so he didn't, the first day, do a great job of explaining characters.
Well,
So
We just tried something.
like the general
before,
tone.
like basically, like before we got to like the first scene that we shot, you guys thought it was a totally different tone.
Right.
Yeah,
That's what I
was
would
like,
say is like you didn't explain the tone as well.
Yeah, so that first scene, you guys are like, yeah, man, I got fired. Oh, it's a bummer.
What?
And we got done, and I was just like, no, this is a comedy. This is like a dark comedy. And they're like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
And then it was fine.
Yeah.
we just made a choice and committed to it,
Yeah.
and like kind of fed off each other's kind of energy.
Yeah.
Yeah, like we're all gonna kill ourselves. But yeah.
And then we did something different. And it was
And
good.
then you showed Colin your asshole.
While watching
Many
an
takes.
extremely goofy movie.
yeah, that was going on.
Yeah, I
But
remember there was
we have a picture of that, I think. If we remember, we can throw it up on the old Instagram. It doesn't show Colby's butthole, but it is a picture of that moment happening where he's bent over and Colin's eating a sleeve of saltines looking at his butt.
Man, this more descriptions gets better and better. Like,
Yeah, no, yeah, it's on one of our profiles, so I'll definitely find it and throw it up on the Instagram for everybody to check out.
yeah.
check out my asshole, y'all.
But what I did love about that shoot is the last bit that we got, where we illegally filmed on top of this like ridge that overlooks Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
It was just like, it was super dope. We had a giant like 2K light, which is like one of the heftier ones, like shot up like way up in the air to look like moonlight.
Yeah.
Running off of a fucking gasoline generator.
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
did not have permission to be there, but at that point in time, because in the early 2010s, a lot of movies were shooting in Pittsburgh.
Yep.
Because it was cheap. They had a good tax incentive or something like.
Right.
That's why Dark Knight Rises looks a lot different.
Yeah.
than Dark Knight.
Yeah, they
'cause
filmed
shot in Pittsburgh. They were shooting Jack Reacher.
Yeah, the Tom Cruise
So
seminal film.
people just kind of like walking on the street that have no idea about what actual film production looks like. We're just like, you guys shooting that Tom Cruise movie? We're like,
Yes.
yeah.
Now leave us
Yeah,
alone.
because we had like a full rig going where we had the camera on like a dolly track.
Yeah.
And stuff because it was like following me as I walked, and we had that big light. So yeah, everyone's like, "You guys shooting that new
It was
Tom Cruise
so
picture?"
loud. It's just a fucking generator.
Yes,
going.
absolutely.
Is one of you Mr. Reacher?
Do you guys know Thomas? Yes, he's talked to me about Scientology, obviously.
He could talk to you too for
Yeah.
$5.
No, that's okay.
But yeah, that was super fun. Also, a really fun side story. We had to all sleep in Joey's living room. So because his house was pretty small while we were there. And one night, I'm sad that Colin's not here because this is about him.
Yeah.
He was like running on like no sleep. He was, because we were doing pretty long days. We were only there for what, 3 days?
Yeah.
And so he was like really, really tired, and we were all sleeping in the same room. So Joey falls asleep. He starts snoring. Colin's getting so angry. He's seething that Joey's snoring so loudly and he can't go to sleep. So he gets up and beats Joey mercilessly with a pillow.
Y'all, I saw it.
Did you see like the build up? Did you predict like this is going to happen?
No,
the powder keg's going to blow.
No, I was like, Colin and I made eye contact, like, we're not going to sleep, I guess, kind of a thing. And I was just kind of laying back down, and the next thing I know, like, someone was getting up beside me, and then he just violently, with all his strength, just hits Joey in the head, just like golf clubbing it, like 3 or 4 times. And Joey stirs, and Colin gets back down really quickly. So it's like just a mild disturbance in the night.
Yeah. What?
And then you start back up again. And, you know.
And then the thing about this is, this was in 2011. Colin didn't tell me this until probably when he started the podcast on Very Real Tournament, like 2 years ago.
Yeah, it was like 2018. Wow.
I had no fucking idea that he had done this. No one ever told me. And then he just like came out and said it. And I was just like, yeah, that's really funny.
Gotta wait for statute of limitations.
If we want to piggyback off film a little bit, we can talk about our production company, Bottoms Up.
Oh yeah, we did a lot of fun stuff there. Various things. I recall one thing that comes off the top of my head is what was it? Dave Miller, a friend of mine, dumping a bunch of yellow paint on me.
Oh yeah,
That was fun.
yeah. No, that was a comedy troupe basically that we had where we shot. You can still, our YouTube channel's still up. Bottoms
It's
Up
still,
Prod.
It's still there.
Yeah.
Even I can't believe it.
I know. Yeah, we started that because the way me and Colin became friends is he had a camera and wanted to film things, and I wanted to be in things. And we just started collaborating on things, and it eventually grew to, I mean, how many people did we have at the top? Like 10 or
10, I think.
Who? Well,
And
no one will
not
know who we're talking
and
about.
not
but-
the kid that went to film school.
Well,
Right.
you were there for some of them. We filmed some things.
No.
Server thing. We filmed a server thing.
Is that
Oh,
a
yeah.
bottoms up thing?
Yeah, it was. It just didn't go anywhere. I had written a pilot for a web series that we filmed at the Bardstown here in Louisville, Kentucky. But mostly it was just short sketches. Our first one was we did American Takers, which was a parody of American Pickers, where me and Colin bust in and rob people, but we're shooting a show. So, and then it just grew from there. We got Corey in on some stuff, then Colby, and then, Colby's now wife Kate and Jeremy Dugan,
Shout out.
frequent
Yeah.
listener
I
of
know you're
our
listening.
media. Dave Miller, Patty Bain, Justin Rich, We
Your
had a good
future
crew.
wife, Blair.
My future wife Blair. It was a lot. We had a lot of fun doing that.
Yeah.
I made like 30 videos or something, maybe more. I don't know.
We also did a couple of 48-hour films
Yeah.
under that, which was silly fun.
They were fun. It was like kind of the leisure of our troop, but you have to do it in 48 hours, so it adds that extra spice to it. I recall one year when we did, I think it was Aaron's, which was really hot. It's in July. And this movie, we filmed almost exclusively in cars.
Yeah.
It was stupid. It was so agonizing. No air conditioner because that causes noise.
Yeah.
But I was behind the camera and I was like, don't worry, this is all going to come together. Totally trust me. What could possibly go wrong? And the movie can only be 7 minutes long because it's supposed to be a short movie.
Yeah.
So I'm editing it on the Sunday morning at 5 a.m., no
Yeah.
sleep. And I'm like, oh, this movie, the first cut of it was 10 minutes long.
Yeah, to cut 3 minutes out of a 10-minute movie is
And
crazy.
we had to refilm some things.
Yeah, we did.
On top of that, because Colby was in it, and then my friend Daniel. Because some of our we ran out of daylight, so we had to film some stuff in the car. The next morning, it was literally get the fuck up. It's time to go. We have to do this right now. But it was stressful but fun.
I
It was a good
remember speaking about it being really hot and being in cars. I remember watching your shirt because you were filming in the back seat, Daniel and I, and your shirt just it started with a little dribble of water in the middle, and then it quickly spread, and the whole shirt was completely doused by the end.
I tried to do a 48 with my friends, and I don't know, we don't operate like that, definitely. But the genre we pulled was suspense/thriller.
Mm-hmm.
And my friends can't write suspense thriller that's like, we'll do this, but it'll be really suspenseful. It's like they almost didn't understand what the genre was. It's like, guys, we've seen these movies.
Yeah, it's like just saying something will be suspenseful will make it so.
We'll do Breakfast of Tiffany's, but it'll be suspenseful.
Right.
Yeah, and then we had an idea, and we were going. It's like, we can't fucking shoot that tomorrow. So somehow it just ended up with us my friend stapled into a monster costume, which was sweatpants, a hoodie, and we stapled fur to it. We had a pretty good mask. It was pretty dope, but it was just and then me and my friend Chris were drawing a pentagram in a basement out of salt, and it was just where are we? What did we do? How did we get here?
Yeah.
Gotta commit to the madness, man.
We're just performing. We had robes and everything. Just what the fuck are we doing?
And it's late on set. You're not going to do anything else now. It's going to happen, and you're going to have to be okay with that.
Yeah.
That's why those are fun.
People are gonna see it in a big theater.
We didn't turn it in.
Oh, really? Gotcha.
We've always turned ours in on time. My last one I did was literally it was down to the wire. It might as well rushing down because one of our people wanted to make sure the sound was perfect. And my computer is slow, so that's a bad combination. And it's dude, come on, man, I can do the export right now. I was let's just go through it and we'll do these changes. We don't have fucking time for this. And he eventually was well, I'd rather not even turn it in at all. And then I almost grabbed the gun that I wish I'd owned. But I didn't own a gun. So, but we got it. It was fine. Everybody won.
Joey, you should have just turned in a copy of Ace Ventura when nature calls.
And no one catches it. The first 7 minutes of Ace Ventura.
Just burn a CD with the first 7 minutes. You guys paid $200 to enter this.
That was pretty thrilling and suspenseful.
But then people would flip out if Jim Carrey was at the screening. I'm telling you.
He shows up and they're like, what? We threw that away. He's I took time to come make silly. It was Ace Ventura 3. Nature answered. I don't know.
When nature calls back.
Yeah, we were robbed on those. Fuck 48-hour film festival.
Nah, I want some stuff. Yeah. I'm fine with it.
I mean, we always won best acting when we did it, and that's important.
Yeah, because you get some of these legit production companies coming through shooting shit on $15,000 cameras, and it's just
and they're the ones.
Am I gonna do
and
with that?
those people are the ones that win technical prizes. Like
Yeah.
the best editing gets this editing suite that's not as good as the one they currently have. So what the fuck?
Yeah, it's kind of a
Yeah.
weird sort of best cinematography. Here's his camera software.
Right. Exactly. Like, I think they fucking have that or something better.
Also, I always thought that they sort of overlooked the story aspects of things and went for the more technical, which that is,
Sure.
a part of theater, cinematography and editing and all this sort of stuff. But, you want to have a good story there, and you want to have a good... Like the Phenomenal Johnson, whatever that one that won. That was not a good story, but it won all the big
Oh, is that
stuff.
Team Hi-Ho?
Yeah.
I believe so.
Yeah, so I have another story adjacent to 48 with them.
Okay.
We, a couple of my friends are huge Primus fans. I fucking despise Primus. I'm not saying that they're not talented. Les Claypool is the master of his craft, but his music is gross.
I like his music.
It's just farting on a bass. Really done really well, but whatever.
Yeah, you don't like it. It's
So
fine.
they had a music video contest for one of their upcoming songs, Hohen Faux de Man. And so we entered this contest, and I thought we did a pretty fucking good job. Like, we had, and this was on a shoestring budget of, like, whatever people have in their fucking pockets.
Right.
Like that. And it had an allotted amount of time. It's just like you have to do this in 2 weeks or whatever. And so we shot it. We had our friends make fucking puppets to be the band. And we had like all this stuff. And we had Sam from the Thumps played the pimp. And we had him in a pimp outfit. And like we had rented a limo and like all this kind of stuff. And, eventually, like, the song is about selling out is what it was. And when, like, we bought like $60 worth of fast food to like dump on him at the end, and like we had all this shit. And then I think a hurricane hit somewhere. I forget which one, but a hurricane hit and they extended the time.
Oh, okay.
And at that point, Chris basically hit the final render button as his computer was exploding.
Oh.
Like a week before, so it's not even like we could touch up the edit.
Right.
And then Team Hi-Ho also entered and shot on a red camera.
Yeah.
And it was just like a pretty literal take on the video. I thought we had something kind of like Primus. They're fucking
Right.
weird.
Yeah.
And they're
Yeah.
gross. So it's just like we kind of had that mix, but this was just like way too high of production value. Like, honestly, probably caught like I think we saw like behind the scenes, and they had like a production tent set up,
Jesus.
like on set, and it was just
Right.
like, how the fuck are we gonna compete with that? And it was
Sure.
just because the length got extended because of it. And it was just like, fuck, man.
Yeah, hurricanes are shit, man. Hate them.
Yeah.
Don't like them.
Hurricanes, it might be the reason why I know you all, because
Whoa.
I was going to go potentially to the University of New Orleans, but then Hurricane Katrina came in and destroyed New Orleans.
Never mind. Thanks, Hurricane Katrina. It was all worth it.
Yeah, man, this is thin ice we're walking on.
That's obviously a joke. I don't mean that.
But
Sorry to all the victims.
Yeah.
glass half full.
They're not alive.
If I
That's a good point. They are victims.
fuck, I'm gonna segue out of this. I'm gonna save us to a little bit more theater stuff, and that's the first play that I ever wrote with my good friend Corey Music.
Yeah, it was all right.
It is. Looking back on it, it was okay. It was called Hell's Awesome.
Yeah.
We wrote it in like 2 weeks.
Were you on Adderall?
No,
No, we were
I
smoking
don't
a lot
think
of
so.
weed.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah, we were doing that.
It was literally like our process, because the story is we had this thing called studio theater at U of L, and it was just student produced, student run theater, and you could do whatever you wanted. Me and Corey were like, we're tired of these fucking main
stage losers selling out.
Exactly, doing these
What would
fucking
Primus
plays. What would Primus
Let's
do?
put 2 chairs on a stage and light one side in red and one side in blue.
Yeah, it was
play.
Yeah. Yeah. So
Yeah, got it.
we wrote like a scene of like Heath Ledger like playing poker in hell with like Satan, and me and Corey were there or something like that. And right, I mean that was.
I thought it
or was
started
the
with
bar?
like. I thought the first one was more like just the back and forth with like us just talking about how
That might be right. Sorry, the poker scene was in our other show. I didn't mean to say that. I mean, I thought we did.
There was a scene with me and like we had
Spoiler.
Heath Ledger and Hunter S. Thompson and
Yeah.
people who
Hunter
died closer back then, so it was relevant.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we wrote it in 2010, but we wrote a scene and we pitched it, and they liked it, but they were like, "Do you have a script?" And we were like, "Sure." All right, well, we need it in 2 weeks.
Let's get this weed.
So, well, yeah, Joey, our writing process was one of us would sit at the computer and type, the other one would smoke weed and come up with jokes, and then we'd switch.
I would to say we both did both those things.
That's what I'm saying. We would just switch.
Yeah.
Like, I'm going to smoke the weed. Corey, you get on the computer.
Okay.
What fucking douchebags?
And then we'd switch. I'd say, oh, wow, I've smoked my fair share of weed. Let me jump on that computer. You smoke this weed.
Thanks, buddy.
And we came up with drivel.
What
Yeah.
a great team.
Yeah, it's really basic and stuff, but it was funny. The premise being that hell's cool and heaven sucks because you have to go to church and
yeah, not
you can't
sin.
curse, and
Have
it's
fun.
always daytime, so you can't sleep.
Yeah. And yeah, so Nick tries to get to hell with me because I live the Morse life, of course, probably in real life too.
Yeah.
And yeah.
And it's okay because I think they said we made the most money in studio theater history. Like we'd get what's it called?
The donations.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Well, there you go.
Yeah, I believe that the
Is
runner
that
at
still
the time,
true?
Gary,
Like
probably.
10 years
Man,
later?
I mean, hopefully.
Watch the video. I think the production, maybe the play itself could use some work or whatever, but the production, I don't know. I mean, you got the audience roaring, man.
It's
Yeah.
good. I also almost lost my scholarship to school because of that play.
That was a
What?
different play.
Was that
That was Spy in the Playwright.
Oh, okay. Never
Which
mind.
that's
You're
a funny
totally
story.
right.
If you want to tell that story.
Yeah, so the second show we wrote was called The Spy and the Playwright, and it was more of a meta show where me and Corey wanted to come up with an idea, and we wrote the play as it was happening. And it was a spoof of Casino Royale, so I was the spy and Corey was the playwright.
yeah.
So, and that one was definitely better written.
Yeah.
But yeah, I almost lost my scholarship because of that one, because I was the master electrician for the theater and I got paid money for doing the lights for the school. And being a student, the most like the person who should be able to use all the instruments because I'm the one in charge of all of them and I know how they work, decided to use some of our expensive, fancy moving lights that spin around and have, filters and different colors and make different shapes and stuff. Because I was like, well, I know how to use these, and this is still a learning environment.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, maybe the lighting designer just won't see this play.
or not care.
Or not care. That was
Yeah.
more of it. Like, he shouldn't care because I am using these in my... I mean, this is all part of the learning environment. Even studio theater was the point. The point was we produce our own theater.
Yeah, like you weren't taking it away from
Yeah,
someone else.
right.
Doing
you know.
off, and you weren't off-citing it or anything
yeah.
like
They
that.
stay in their
Computer
positions.
programmed.
It's
Yeah.
all on a computer program. So I think we weren't even rehearsing. My lighting designer just happened to go up into the booth and start looking through things, and I guess I had left the file on the not open but on the previously used files. And he went through it and saw that I had used them, and he deleted all of those light cues.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Yeah, he was
That's so weird.
yeah he deleted
Yeah.
them all, and.
Petty.
Yeah, petty. And I almost lost my scholarship. I had to meet with several different people and say, I don't understand why I'm wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah, like...
And they're
yeah, that just
the
blows me
basic
away.
argument was, we told you that you were wrong. So,
It's a hard argument to win when you're already
right.
you've already
It just
lost.
didn't. So I had to apologize and blah, blah, blah.
And the funny thing is, you were a senior, and I already graduated. So,
Yeah, so
I didn't
Corey
give
was
a
like,
fuck.
yeah,
I
use
was
them,
like,
man.
I was like,
'Cause you're
bro,
an
I wanted
old
to murder
fucking
everyone.
fogey.
I'll go in there. I'll kill that guy myself. I'm great. I don't care.
Suck his dick right now.
I'll do it, man. You don't think I'll do it, but I'll do it.
I don't need you to. I didn't ask you to. Why are you saying this
Hey,
right now?
I'm just spitballing.
We need ideas to get back
Okay.
at them.
We don't have a lot of time. The show opens tomorrow.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, in film school, we had 24 access to the building 24-hour access to the building, so we'd have Nerf wars.
Yeah, see, that's we used
With
to play
lighting
hide,
equipment.
We used to play hide and go seek in the prop department and stuff.
We didn't go in the prop department.
No one
at
went
3
into the
a.m.
prop department.
It was. I will tell you, it was spooky.
You don't come out the same.
It was spooky in the props department at night.
But yeah, we had like recording lights in the building that we could flip on and be like, "Shut the fuck up,
Right.
don't make noise." But it was just like red, like oscillating lights.
Yeah.
It was sick.
Yeah, Joe, didn't you say that, like, you all thought it was haunted in there, and then, like, one night you went to...
We drove to Ohio.
You drove
'cause we
to
were so
Ohio.
scared. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he told that story on Very Real Tournament before.
Yeah, it was a spooky place.
That building hasn't been there in 40 years.
Then I dissipate.
You get Thanos with no snap.
Yeah.
So these stories are fun, thinking back on things. They're really fun. I was thinking, though, like, if there been, like, any kerfuffles or, like, one thing for me would be, I've been drunk on stage a couple of times.
Yeah, you have.
Yeah. Yeah, I have.
Well, because the place we do shows now a lot is the Bardstown, and it is a
The
bar.
bars town.
It is a bar and restaurant downstairs with a theater upstairs. So, I mean, access to alcohol has never been easier.
It's encouraged
in
even.
in a theater environment.
Yeah.
So it's real easy to just, like, if you get there early, to have a couple drinks, waiting, or, when you're not on stage for a while, maybe you go get a drink.
Make sure you have a drink backstage, so whenever you're not on stage, even if it's for 5 seconds, you can drink.
You can drink. Sometimes you just add that your character has a drink in their hand for no reason on stage.
You guys sound like professionals.
Yeah, dude.
We know what we're doing.
No, I try not to do it, but I did it once when we did Spine the Playwright last year. I did shots, and then as soon as I stepped out on stage after intermission, I was like, "Oh no!"
Dude, that was the
What have
same
we
night
done?
because I was probably the reason why you did it was I was encouraging you to
Yes,
do it because
it
I
was.
was drunk most nights for Spine the Playwright.
Hell
Not
yeah.
drunk, but tipsy. But that night it was the second act where we walk in and we're supposed to be all nice looking, and right before the lights went up, I was like, "Whew, man, this is a mistake." Like you can kind of feel it,
Yeah.
but it went fine. If I recall, which I might not.
Speaking of drinking things at the Bardstown, and a play that I did that I wrote, Night at the Restaurant.
Oh yeah, we have to talk about this play.
So I have the main character drinking some chocolate milk and spitting it in the character, spitting it in the face of another character. And one night, they just forgot to put the milk in the fridge. Whoopsie daisy.
Yep. Well, it's actually even funnier, Colby, because there were two already, and they were like backstage. We were like, "This is the one that's bad and probably now like curdled." Because it was like
Chekhov's curdle.
please use the other one, and they had forgotten to grab it. So I think Jeremy Dugan had to run back and grab one, and he grabbed the
wrong
curdled one.
And
I was
yeah.
I was sitting there on stage, like, I'm doing something else, and I have a cue, from the guy that gets spit on. He has this long monologue. Yeah, boy, come here, let me do this thing.
Well, the guy that
And
gets
then
spit on is Colin.
Yes, Colin. And like the spit happened way earlier than it should have. in
I was
the
on
script.
stage. It surprised me as well.
Yeah, I didn't know he had curdled milk in his mouth. But my dream, because the play is very absurd and all that, my dream would have been if, Justin had spit on Colin, and then Colin had thrown up, and then Justin threw up, then Blair and Nick and everybody on stage is throwing up,
And
then
most of the audience
Kate,
is throwing up.
Right, and then Kate, my wife, she comes on at the end of the play and goes, "What the hell is going on here?" or whatever, and just
then
to come
throws
on
up.
to everyone throwing up.
And then she throws up. And
Oh,
that's
it
the
would have
end
been
of the play.
perfect. You all would have hated me, but it would have been
Looking
great.
back, it would have been great. I don't
If
care.
you orchestrated that behind my back, I'd be impressed.
How would I make your bodies vomit forth?
You figure it out, man. You write the play, okay?
Man.
I planted the curdled milk. That's all I can do. I
Yeah,
didn't do that.
that was a weird experience doing that. Colby wrote A Night at the Restaurant, and we were going to do it for Studio Theater. And everyone was like, "We're all in, right?" And then when I turned around, everyone was gone besides me and Colin.
Yeah.
No one else can do it.
For a
'cause
door
we're like,
slam in the background.
We're all going to do it together.
You two were great.
Yeah, but the point was we had to audition and cast subpar actors.
Well, it's studio, it's a learning environment.
No, I want to have
Okay.
the best quality stuff in the learning environment so I can be better than all my peers.
Nice.
It's always a competition.
I didn't begrudge anybody. They did the best they could, and they looked the part, but it was just, it just made the rehearsals like, all right, there's 1,001 problems, and I've just gotta.
Our rehearsals.
Let me get
Colin
the
started to
biggest
get
one
really
first.
Colin started to get really frustrated with the rehearsals taking so long, but I understood, Colby, because you had to direct people that didn't know how to act very good.
And you hadn't really directed before either. It's a learning process for everyone.
And you miss things. Like, for
point.
instance, one of the girls that has to come on looking for her husband walks on and has her hand on her
above her
forehead. Yeah,
eyes.
above her eyes. And that's called indicating
Yeah,
everybody.
she's indicating that she's looking for
When you
someone.
walk into a restaurant
see it.
looking for your family, you don't fucking put your hand over your eyes looking for your family. You just look around.
Yeah.
Here's a pro tip for anybody that wants to be a director or mostly look like a director. All you need to do, have like 5 pieces of paper in your hands and point at stuff.
Yep.
And you're like, holy shit, that guy's directing.
Yeah. Oh, there's a picture of Joey from the movie with papers in his hand pointing at something. Maybe we can put that up on the Instagram as well from that
Oh,
movie.
I'm so fat then.
Yeah, I think
hate
that's-
it. My
Ignore
hair's
the-
so long and gross.
Ignore
think
that Joey was depressed. We've all
I think
been
with
there.
the film, it's pointing, but with theater, it's more like pensive. Like you want shots of people
Oh,
like,
okay.
And you have
like
to
from
have,
the back, like kind of like.
you have to have a beret on backwards
That's-
also.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's the divide. Okay.
Twiddling a pencil.
Yeah, pencils help.
You
Yeah.
kind of mentioned this of like with the vomiting. Have you guys ever put your body on the line for? This is mostly for filming. Like put yourself in precarious situations
I know
that
that
could go
Colin
very
put his
wrong.
body on the line when he got chocolate syrup spit on him like 4 nights in a row for like 2 weeks.
I repeatedly put a tampon in my mouth.
Yeah,
That was full of.
I filmed that.
Yeah, you did. That was full of water and red.
It was supposed to be, yeah, he's a vampire and blood, and that's the joke.
That joke sucks. So
It's actually a pretty funny little
They're silver,
bottoms-up sketch.
they're
that we did.
silver tampons. That's why vampires can't. You know what? Now I'm taking myself to you.
It's hard to pitch, but it's funny.
It turned out okay. You can go see it on
So
YouTube.
my shtick when I would film shit with my friends in high school was I would get hit by a car. It probably happened like 6 times. Like it was like always like that was the punchline for like so many things, or like our money shots was me getting hit by a car. And yeah, I didn't die, which is really good because I had back surgery, so my back is just like I'm just like a slab, like there's no like movement going
no
on back there.
bending.
I don't know why I was the one getting hit by the car, but it was pretty good. But
You suffer for your art, dog.
Yeah.
yeah, there was one time where I thought I was getting really good at it, and it was like
You were getting numb.
it was spring break, and my friend Jude, who's been on Very Real Tournament, was pulling up, and I was just like, "Oh, I got this." But usually, what I let happen was let the car kind of touch my leg and then fold.
Yeah.
But basically, I got too anxious, and I basically shoulder dropped his window shield, and I cracked his windshield. And he got grounded.
All according to
also,
plan.
He also
Spring
suffered for his
break.
art. Can you imagine Martin Scorsese getting grounded?
I can't film the scene. I'm sorry, I'm grounded. Why? What?
Yeah, we've also had like a live chainsaw on set. Mm-hmm. It was pretty rough.
You've done a lot of stupid shit.
I've gotten hit by a car a couple times. Colin definitely got hit by a car several times.
I had Patty Bain put a bucket over his head, and Corey just hit it with a bat
Yeah,
like
that was
over and over again.
Yeah. You can see that on our YouTube channel.
Yeah.
Bottoms Up Productions.
And you made Colin made you a very, what struck me as very unsafe flamethrower once.
Yeah, it was super unsafe. Just in my driveway by my house.
Yeah.
He strapped like a gasoline like just a gasoline tank on my back, basically, the ones that you'd fill a car with a tube taped to it that ran, and then we had a can of lighter fluid and my Zippo lighter. And so I would just light the Zippo lighter and squeeze the can
God.
so it looked like a flamethrower.
Man, it was
and
stupid.
set the ground on fire around me in my driveway. And I remember one time it didn't go out, the fucking can caught on fire, but it was strapped to me.
Oh my
I
god.
couldn't get the can off. The can didn't have anything in it on the back, but the can, obviously with the lighter fluid, lit on fire. And then my sister came out and yelled at us, and we had to stop.
Sounds
and
like
that was
Jesse.
super dangerous.
Sounds like a smart person.
Wouldn't do again.
Yeah, when we were doing a horror themed Christmas short, and then Santa at the end has a chainsaw.
Yeah.
And we had a really cool money shot where we defaced one of the film crew's barn where we cut a hole in the door. But then we needed to have a fight, an epic fight at the end.
Okay.
Who was the Santa at that point? I think it was Sam. Mm-hmm. Again, from the Thumps, right? Might be thinking, whatever. And we were in a muddy... Oh, no, it was Matt, because we were at... Whatever. It was wintertime. Mm-hmm. And we were in this super muddy, pit that they were, fighting in. And Matt gets knocked down, and he fucking, cut his ear open on, a pole that was sticking out.
Uh-huh.
Pretty much mutilated his ear. We were but we need the shots. But eventually he had to go to the hospital and get it stitched up. And he had this big bandage around his face for a month. We went to a fucking heavy metal concert in Jersey. He was all wrapped up.
That's so metal, man.
Yeah, it's pretty fucking metal.
Man, people, I don't think I've done anything remotely like that for my art. I guess I'm not a real artist.
Yeah, you haven't suffered.
Yeah, I have gotten really drunk for my art,
That
which we've
doesn't
already
count.
covered.
Yeah.
I think it counts.
That's not suffering. That's having a good time. You're making your
having
art
a
suffer.
problem.
You're making your art suffer, and
Exactly.
that's
It is a problem, which means I'm suffering.
Please help me. Hello? Anybody out
Every show
there?
I do is a cry for help.
Dude, that's why I wrote that part for you.
Yeah, I know.
I got you, dude.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what? Let's do it again.
Yeah,
10 years later.
Yeah, speaking of doing
I've
parts.
got ass cancer.
Oh.
Yeah, speaking of doing parts, me and Corey and Colby are about to do some more parts this summer. We're bringing it back. Hell's Awesome happened in 2010. We're doing Hell's Awesome: The Second Coming.
Yep.
That's
this
right.
summer.
Corey talked me into it. We're doing a play sequel. Me and Corey are writing that right now. Should be a real fun time.
Yeah, similar to the first time, we've already got the gig to do it before the play's been finished.
Exactly.
So
We're like, yeah, we'll have something.
Yeah, we'll get it finished, probably.
Get the weed.
You're ready to switch parts?
I know. Now I'm 30 and have a child, and I'm but I want to go to Corey's house
Yo,
and
man,
smoke weed.
I'll smoke the weed and watch your child. You type.
Yeah, back in 2010, I didn't have any responsibilities, so it was fine to just spend all day at Corey's house.
And guess what?
Chilling.
I still have no responsibilities.
All right, Quinn, you type. I'll smoke the weed.
Quinn, you
I'll
smoke
blow
the
the
weed.
weed in your face.
You come up with funny jokes.
She's a good, I just like to bounce ideas off of her. She's always on my side.
Yeah.
Most of the time.
No, Elmo can't be in the play, Quinn. Stop.
What if you call him Saint Elmo? I'll allow that. See, we're coming together.
Yeah, it's a collaborative process.
And he has
baby.
fire, maybe?
Colby gets to be God.
Yep. Just
I
like
do.
the first time. In case, I don't think we mentioned that. Yeah, he played God the first time. He was great.
Have you guys written a part for Colonel Sanders yet?
Working on it.
No.
The play's not finished, so there's still time.
He can be he can be anywhere.
Hell.
Yeah, probably there.
I mean,
Yeah, he was
he's got a white suit, but
he was pretty hardcore racist, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, we can have a lot of fun with that.
His chicken was too good, so they sent him to hell.
Well, I think Hell is
also
off.
the chickens didn't have a good time. Maybe, possibly,
Nope.
perhaps.
Well, also, Hell has a
think all the-
sponsorship with KFC. They host the buffets and what have
yeah.
you.
I see.
You make a deal with the devil, man. That's what you get.
sadness piles and failure bowls or whatever.
Thank you, Patton Oswalt.
Yeah.
He's down there too.
We're just going to start killing people for real.
No,
Yeah, people that aren't dead.
Yeah.
That should have a scene with all those people.
Do you think
Oh
his
yeah,
wife's
man,
down
check the
there?
news.
Check the news. What?
Do you think his wife's down there, or is she up there for finding that one guy in California? The killer?
Yeah,
You're
I
gonna
know,
go down there for asking that question.
Oh, come
Yeah,
on.
no.
She died fucking half a year ago. And it wasn't even that mean.
Yeah.
I was talking about her legacy. That's what she would have wanted.
Yeah. No, she's
be in
in
hell?
heaven. No.
To be remembered for, helping solve crimes and shit.
Right. I don't
In
know.
hell.
Tweet him on Twitter and see
I'll
how he
ask him
feels.
what he thinks about the question.
Yeah,
That would be
yeah,
a good
Yeah,
idea.
exactly.
He'll be
Yikes.
totally civil about that.
Yeah, guys, we've pretty much hit our mark. Does anyone have any last thoughts on our theater film experience? It's been a wild ride with you guys.
Don't
I
heckle.
started.
Don't heckle.
Oh, yeah. We write our plays in such a way that we can break the fourth wall, and Corey will straight up call people out.
Yeah, I've done that multiple times in The Hell's Awesome. I think, actually, Colby saw me do it most recently in our show, The Kings of Christmas, where I
Yeah.
literally took a monologue to tell people to shut the fuck up during the show. It was fun.
You were, as you said, furious.
Yeah, he saw me in intermission, like, hey, man, it's like, shut the fuck up!
You were
Was it
very
you?
angry.
Were you talking?
I knew it wasn't you, because if it were you, you'd be dead by now.
But the audience was angry at you back, so
Yeah,
it's okay.
that was a good symbiotic relationship.
Yeah, Corey's just like straight up like told people to get off their phones.
Yeah,
it's great.
I've told people to go fuck themselves,
Yep.
even when they probably didn't deserve it in retrospect. But you don't have that then.
But-
so-
Yeah, and it's that
Just
drinking
have your
dog.
emotions
But comedy.
and your alcohol.
yeah, comedy always wins, and alcoholism will always win.
It's coming
Let me
for
just
you.
say to all you people, you'll never beat it, and you should stop trying.
It's just a matter of how long you can go. It's
Patton Oswalt's wife is in hell.
maybe.
We should have ended before you said it.
We can edit this, right?
That's the rule. Like whenever Nick goes, well, guys, we should just stop.
Yeah. Let me do the natural organic ending so we don't say shit like that. Thank you guys so much for listening to this episode of Very Real Talk. If you want to hear us say more shit like that, shit we probably shouldn't say, make sure you hit up our website. That's vrtcast.com so you can listen to all of our episodes. They're all there. Go there, check them out. Also on that website is our other podcast. We've mentioned it. It's called Very Real Tournament. Me, Corey, Joey, and Colin. Colby, you're not on that podcast. Get over it already. Get over it. You're always talking about how you're not on it. I just want you to shut the fuck up. And you are. Okay. Perfect. No rebuttal.
I think he'd be good on the podcast.
Tag.
Need a real butler.
Very Real Tournament is a comedy battlecast where we pit two very real opponents against each other in a very real fight. So make sure you go over and check that one out. It's super cool, super funny, super awesome, very real. If you want to hit us up on social media and tell us about the time that you were Santa Claus in a play or how much drinking you do on stage or just like, your general thoughts on Ace Ventura when nature calls, you can find us on all the social media sites, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. I always say that, but there's definitely more social media websites than just those three. I guess I should say the big ones. Because, isn't like... MySpace is still around, right?
Yeah.
I don't know what capacity is.
I guess
it's
like
in.
the Google social media platform is dead.
Yeah, Google Plus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You got replaced with Disney Plus.
Yeah. Yeah, on the main ones, we're on there. Very Real Podcast. Search us. If you want to get in touch with us for any reason, it doesn't matter. If you want to tell us, that you hate theater and film and hated this episode because of that, just go ahead and send us an email at vrtcast@gmail.com.
We'll read it.
We'll read it.
Yes.
On the
If you're just
podcast.
if you're just like 100% only podcasts and that's the only media that you can stand, that's fine with us because we do all of them. If you want to just go ahead and take a trip down memory lane, head over to Bottoms Up Prod on YouTube, and you can see a younger version of all of us do silly sketches. Some of them are great, some of them are terrible. We'll
Yep.
let you be the judge. Although Corey has his thoughts, but he can't share them now.
Nope. I have no thoughts on it at all. It's all up to what you think. You're the future, not them.
Yeah, and then go ahead and like and subscribe, rate and review. Click that bell on the Bottoms Up YouTube. I still get those notifications.
I do too.
Yeah, me too.
It's like Bottoms Up Prod has 2 more views on Facebook, and it's like, who's looking at these groups? Is it just bots or like people like going like, wow, I just discovered them on YouTube, and then they go over like, oh, this shit is so dead since 2013.
Nah, man, it'll come back. It's like liking the Beatles in college. Like you just gotta go, take some time.
Right. If we're gonna bring back Hell's Awesome, which we did 10 years ago, we can definitely bring back Bottoms Up.
Like in 2022.
I think
Tops down, man.
one of our last videos is like, hey guys, we're just taking a little break from sketches.
Our last video was literally David Miller going, hey guys, I'm taking a little break over Christmas. We'll see you next year. And here we are talking about it. 8 years later.
Yeah. So it's
Isn't it ironic?
Don't you think?
I do think that. I know that is a fact. Okay, guys, it's been a lot of fun. Colby, thank you so much for coming on the podcast again, man, and you covered it at the last minute for Colin, and we really appreciate it.
Of course.
TCBallin is the best. He balls harder than most. Also, before we go, I want to take a quick moment to thank the Thumps. They do all the music for this podcast. You can find all of their music at thethumps.bandcamp.com. Also, head over to their Facebook page and see where they're playing next. One of the band members, Drew, just told me that they'll probably have something in February and March. So go over there, check it out if you're in the area. Or, fly in. Whatever.
Dugan, we're talking to you.
Yeah, man. Plan that trip now.
Hell yeah. All right, guys.
That was awesome.
You guys ready to get out of here and go work on Hell's Awesome: The Second Coming?
Yep. We need everyone's help, okay?
By that, I just mean smoke weed.
Yeah.
I've been trying to get you to write finish your fucking script for me for like months. And you're like,
What?
oh, I'm writing a show. And then I'm like, hey, Nick, where's that script? I'm writing a show. Stop writing shows. Write me your damn script.
Sorry, dog. Go ahead and guilt me at the end of this podcast. Let's get out of here, gang. I'm Nick Potter.
I'm Joey Potter.
I'm Corey Music.
I'm Colby Ballou.
It's been real. It's been fun. And alcoholism is coming for